So Wahoo is the official trainer supplier of the UCI Road World Championships. So if you were watching the warm-up area with a super eagle eye, you might have seen a half stationary, half roller Wahoo product that was completely unreleased, or unreleased until today. And today we're getting our grubby little hands, all over the new Wahoo Kickr Rollr. And in this video, we'll set it up, we'll take it for our first ride, we'll talk about what it feels like to ride this new smart trainer, and we'll talk about which bikes will and won't work with it. And finally, I'll talk about who I think should, consider something like this product and who should potentially skip this one. Okay, so what exactly is this thing? The Wahoo Kickr Rollr is a new smart trainer where the rear wheel just rolls on top of two roller pins, while the front wheel is locked in place and stationary, and it's kind of locked in place by this V-clamped piece here. And you have this like circular knob that loosens and tightens the grip on the front tire. On the back, there's a 10.5 pound flywheel that can provide resistance, but even if you have this device unplugged, the Wahoo Rollr will provide a steady, progressive amount of resistance from 0 to 450 watts. And the device itself has a maximum power output of 2,200 watts. Now, I wanna be very clear about one thing. This device does not output power to your favorite game like Zwift or Trainer Road or workout platform like Wahoo system, unless you have an external power meter that it can pair with. So, if you have something like Wahoo's all new Speedplay PowerLink Zero power meter pedals that they just released today, video up here somewhere if you want to check that out. But the rollers, will automatically find power meter of some sort, and it will connect to them. And then, Zwift or Trainer Road or any other training platform will just be able to use the Kickr rollers just as any sort of other smart bike trainer. Now, you do have erg mode. I found that it was very functional on the rollers, meaning that, when an app that I'm using can add resistance to, simulate going uphill, or, help me to hold a specific wattage during a workout. I would say that erg mode doesn't seem to be quite as good or, quite as responsive as more traditional smart trainers with bigger flywheels where you can, pretty much just put your bike in any gear and the erg mode can just crush your legs, put you into that dreaded like spiral of death. I think with the rollers, I think the trick is to adjust the bike gearing to kind of accommodate lower or higher wattage numbers. When you first get the rollers, the box is quite massive. You might want two people to kind of help you move the box around, but once it's open, I'd say it's extremely easy to set up. It comes in two pieces, and you just need to simply slide the front section into the back section and then tighten down the Phillips head screws, and you're good to go. It's actually easier to move around after it's been set up like this, which seems crazy, but it is easier. There's actually like a built-in handle in the back right section, and then you can just grab the pole in the front and move the whole thing around. The whole thing weighs about 50 pounds. The front section of the roller folds up and down, and I mentioned the front tire clamp piece, but there's also a clamp in the middle where you can actually kind of open it and slide the middle part to adjust for a variety of different bike sizes with differing wheelbases. And by wheelbases, I just mean that different size bikes have different distances between their front wheel and their back wheel. And putting in or taking out a bike is just absolutely a breeze with this. In fact, I would probably say that that's kind of this particular device's biggest selling point. You just drop your bike in and then you kind of like tighten the front wheel clamp with this little roller knob and start your workout. Unscrew the knob a little bit, slide your bike out, and you're good to go right on the road. Very, very simple. Switching between bikes with the same wheelbase is of course super easy, just the knob. So if you have a road bike and you have a time trial bike, you could easily switch between them. You could even do something like switch between them mid-workout and it would be pretty easy. I'll be using this particular device with my wife. She has a smaller bike with a smaller wheelbase, so we will need to adjust that center section just a little bit, probably each time when we switch bikes. It's not quite as seamless, for sure, as not having to move the wheelbase, but it's not too difficult either. If it's set too big, you can put the front tire on and then kind of squeeze the roller until the back wheel falls into place. When the device is folded down, the tallest part of the entire device is about 8 inches tall. So I thought about, that being something that could fit underneath someone's bed. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit too tall to fit under, the beds that I have in my house. But if your bed sits up a little bit higher, above 8 inches, you could easily just slide this roller training system like right under a bed for storage. And I mentioned that my wife's bike is smaller than mine, but she still has size 700C wheels, which is what is supported by Wahoo and the Wahoo Rollr trainer. If she had 650B wheels, it wouldn't be a bike that is officially supported by this product. Of course, you're probably asking, well, what about my cyclocross bike? What about my gravel bike? What about my mountain bike? How about kids' bikes, unicycles, or, my cousin's got this baby sister and she rides a tricycle. Officially, it is 700C size wheels. Technically, there is nothing stopping you from using whatever bike you can kind of stuff in here. The clamp here, it supports tires up to 2.1 inches. The mountain bike tires that I stuffed in here were definitely bigger than that. But I think the thing to think about is, actually the tire tread pattern itself. Knobby tires and rollers, they're generally just not a good mix. You're probably gonna want something with just a smoother tire for your just own personal sanity. With a normal road tire, the Wahoo Rollr, and the entire setup feels pretty smooth. You do get a little bit of drift on the back tire, but you don't, need to like focus on it or, worry about balance like you do on like a traditional pair of rollers. Sprinting on the roller, no problem. Maximum wattage output, I mentioned 2,200 watts. I wasn't able to get there. I did notice that, if you do get up and you give it a sprint, you do need to be aware, kind of keeping a little bit of weight on the rear tire because, that's what's providing any sort of resistance there. But overall, the device isn't extremely loud. I would say probably similar to any sort of like modern trainer that you might be familiar with. Now the Wahoo Kickr Rollr retails for $800 US, which, I think is a tricky price point. And that's, largely because it doesn't output power without an additional external power meter. Now, a lot of us, that's not a big deal for us. We have power meters on our bikes. We use them because when we go outside riding, we'd like to have power. But others, this might be a deal breaker. Wahoo does offer their new single-sided PowerLink Zero power meter pedals as a bundle package for $1,400, which does save you $50 as opposed to you buying these separately. But I think that it's a tricky value proposition, just knowing that the Wahoo Kickr Snap, which is a smart bike trainer that they sell, That retails for $500. And then they also have the Wahoo Kickr Core Smart Bike Trainer, which is the bike trainer that I use a lot, which retails for $900. Now, don't take this as, a recommendation for you guys to run out and grab the Kickr Snap. It's definitely not a product that I typically recommend, but the Kickr Core is a pretty good product, and those price points being so similar and the Kickr Core having like integrated power, I do think that that makes it a little bit tough on this new Kickr Rollr product. I think that this product is ideal for that person that doesn't want to fiddle around with taking their rear wheel off. They just want to go from outdoor riding to indoor riding as quick as possible. I think it's for a person that probably already has a power meter, but maybe wants to quickly and easily share a Kickr Rollr smart trainer between like a variety of different bikes. It could be a good bike trainer for a couple who both happen to have power meters and they just want to share an indoor trainer. Overall, I think it's actually really cool that there's still some interesting products that are coming out in this kind of smart bike trainer category. I've been a bit worried that, indoor smart bike trainers had kind of reached peak innovation. And I was really excited to see a new and a different product coming to market. My question for you guys, is this something that you would consider? Either way, be sure to get out there, swim, bike, run, rinse, and then repeat it all over again. And we will see you guys on the next one.